Hey everybody, Cindy A. Lewis here, and it is time to do the junk mail envelope junk journal pages for January and February. So I hope you've been able to get your junk mail envelope adhered all together and assembled. And I wanted to give you an update because I have the schedule, and I'll post it at the end of this video and at the end of all the subsequent ones of when these pages will be out. Really want to get it all done by the end of January so that you can start filling in all your memory. Today we're doing the January and February pages. By the 21st, we're going to have posted the March and April. The 23rd, we'll do May through July. The 26th, August and September. The 28th of January, October, November. And for December and the cover, we're going to do that on the 30th. On the 31st, we'll do a quick flip through and show you everything that I created. And hopefully you're doing that along the same. And you're thinking about your theme, and you're thinking about how you want everything to look. So because I am wanting to give this junk mail envelope a little more stability, I want to encourage you to think about taking an old cereal box or the backing from an old frame or an old rice box or some piece of cardboard that you have, just a throwaway piece, and create a little insert to give your front and back some stability, just like inserting this before you cover the page, so that now my front and my back is going to have a little more stability as I create my pages. So you can see it's more like a book, right? And I'm going to show you how to put a little bit more stability on the spine, since we're going to be filling that up. How did I make it? I basically took a ruler, measured across and down, and then I cut it down about 1/4 of an inch on each to make sure that it fit inside and not the exact size of the envelope, right? So I just took a straight edge blade and measured it and cut it out. Super simple. You can do that, but if you don't want to, it's certainly not required. But I wanted to do that before I added my pages. So now let's get on to the January pages. If you remember, this is the paper that I chose because January's winter and there's usually snow and cold weather, icy times. So I'm going to take this paper and cut it to fit on my 2 envelopes here. Now you can make it to fit like and fold it and adhere it down that way, or you can make separate pages and glue them on. I'm going to try the first way where I fold it and make it seamless. So I need to measure, and then I'm going to cut my paper out. That's what you'll do on yours. I've measured my paper and I've got it approximate. I cut it a little bit bigger because it's easier if it's bigger to trim it than it is to, add little pieces. All right. So I do want to do this. I like the way that it looks. So I'm going to glue this down, and then I'm going to trim the papers after I get them down, because I do want to make sure it looks good, but I don't want it to pull on it, So I'm going to glue that down. You see how it's a little bit longer. I don't know if you can tell. It's about maybe 1/8 of an inch. The top looks pretty good. The bottom looks good. This one is good. So the only one that's really got extra is this envelope here. So I do think I'm going to trim it. It's been able to dry a little bit. If you ever don't have enough on the bottom, you can always use washi or cover it up with your decoration. I'm going to take my straight edge, and I'm just going to follow along the side of this envelope and cut off the excess. It's really easy to do. Take your time if it takes more than once, rather than trying to rush it, because you don't want to tear your newly adhered paper. All right, here we go. That's really pretty. So this is my January, and for each of my months I want to put a little tab of paper, kind of like a tab you would have in your notebook, and put January on it. Now you can handwrite that, or you can do it however you want to do it. But I need some contrasting paper, not exactly this same paper to do it, because if I did, then it would just blend in with it, right? One thing that I want to mention is that I want to give mine a vintage look. I want to have the edges refined kind of with some of this black dye ink. So I'm going to take my paper, now that it's on here, and just go around the edges. This is my homemade blending tool that I've shown you before. I have a video on it, and I can share that in the comments below in case you're interested in making yourself one. Just out of a pill bottle and a little felt pad from Dollar Tree. So you can see what a difference it makes when you go over your edges. So I have a bunch of scrap paper, and one that I really like is this one, and that's contrasting, and that would look nice on here. And this is just a piece of scrap. So if I take it and say do something similar to this, you can staple it. Stapling is okay. And so I kind of like that size right there, and I'm going to trim that. So one thing you can do if you want to follow along and do that kind of thing is you can, depending on the paper you choose, you can write on it, you can stamp it out. This is a Dymo label, so I think I'm just going to put that January on there with my Dymo label. I'm going to trim that. I'm going to adhere it to this pretty silver paper, and then I'm going to take my stapler and staple it on. That's pretty cool with junk journals. All right, you can see I put my January on here. Now I want to decorate my page, and I really love the look of this. So I have some of this pretty paper, and I want to tear it. I want to get a little bit of a, just a kind of a torn look, I guess, if you will. So I'm just going to tear some of this like this, and I want to see how far I need it. I may take it all the way over, and I'm gonna go over it with my black and get some of that black on it. So, and then I'm just gonna work on adhering this here and seeing where the fold is and put it on my page, kind of like to contrast the blue. And then I'm going to put a snowman on my page. So let me glue this down. I really like that. Now I want to make a snowman, and I want to make some snow at the bottom here to go along with my snowflakes in my picture. So I have a little bit of white, and I'm just going to make some mounds of snow, and then I'm going to make a snowman. So what I need to do is I'm just going to cut like this and just make some mounds and see how they fit. And then, so that one's pretty good right there. So that looks good. And then I've got another one that I want to put in the back of this one like this. And just to keep my page continuing, I might add another one here at the bottom. So just think about what you're creating and make it simple. Make it simple, something like that. You see where I'm going with this? So I decided I want to make a snowman pocket or tuck spot. So I'm going to take my snowman. I'll cut out 3 circles. I think this is 2 inch, 1.5, and 1 inch. I cut out a square of black, and I'm gonna make his hat, right? And so I need to put him on the background of something. So I'm probably just gonna use this paper that I already have. But I wanna make sure that he stands out. So maybe, working in my head on this one, I want it to stand out. So he, it's like you're tucking your tag behind the snowman himself. So may use just some white, and this is the white, the back side of this white. Already had a little scrap of it, and I could use that, might work. So let's see if I may just get some plain white too. Yeah, that would work, and put the snowman on there, and then I'm gonna cut around the snowman to make it look like he's on there. So I'm just gonna work on this a little bit, and then I'll show you how I put it on here on the page. Okay, so to finish January, got this little tuck spot with my snowman here. I have my tag I made to match. I can write on the back of it. I also put in a couple of little snowflakes. These are from the Dollar Tree if you were able to get those this year or last year. My January tag, and now I'm gonna move on to February. So this is February, and we're gonna be using this pretty pink paper with the little hot air balloon. And also everyone really loved this So in Love with You, so we're gonna incorporate that. Okay, I've cut my paper. I already know I need to trim it. I cut it a little bit bigger. So I'm gonna adhere this side first because I want the hot air balloon fully on the other side of the page. So I'm just gonna start with my glue and adhere my paper to my envelope. For February's tab, I want to use a heart because it's the month of love, and it's a month of, you know, my birthday, my husband's birthday, all of our birthdays. So I kind of like these little wood hearts, and if I can do it, I'm gonna see, I don't know if I like the glittery one or if I really like just the plain with the February on it. And I'm leaning to the plain, I'll just let you know. But everybody has different tastes. So let me get my February, and I'm just gonna put it there. I may add a little more glue to it. I'm gonna give it some of that black ink. Okay, so I took that other page that everyone liked, the So in Love with You page, and I've cut out all the pieces to it and another part to be a pocket. And I'm going to put the pocket on my page here, and I use double stick tape. So I may put it towards the middle, and then I can put some washi on the side if I want to. And use some double stick tape to put on my pocket. And then I'm going to decorate my pocket with these words and around the page. So I'm going to do that real fast, and then I'll show you. To put my wording on, I'm going to use these little foam adhesive squares. So we're just going to put So in Love, So in, which were the first two words. And you may not want to do all of this, but this is just an idea for, so I'm doing it kind of catty-cornered. So in Love, I'm just pulling these little backings off of the foam adhesive. So in Love, and then With You, which is really cute, right? So in Love with You. And then I'm going to take my pointing finger and put it on the other page. And then I can add pictures, I can add a note. I may look and see what I have in my stash to put a little note card in here, our tag. It's about 3.5 inches is what I put here. So, I mean, my tag would have to fit within that. Let me show you. Just real quickly, I would want a tag that could fit like that. So if I wanted a white tag, I could just make my own tag and put it in there. Here, I'll just make one real quick. All right, I just took a piece of the paper from the Sew in Love with You paper and made a quick tag. I put some pink and white twine on there, and this is a sticker from the Dollar Tree. Well, I really like these stickers, by the way. So anyway, now I have room. I can put pictures or whatever I want, and I've made February, and then there's January. So two totally different pages, and then we'll be on to March soon. Oop. All right. So January, we made a tuck spot with the snowman, little tag, and then February, we made a pocket with a tag and plenty of room to add whatever else comes up. So the next one will be March and April, and I hope to have that out. The plan is to have that out in Thursday, and so be watching for that. And the schedule will show up right after we get through here, so right after this. So anyway, thanks so much for watching. I hope you're following along and ready to make your junk journal out of junk mail envelopes. Anyway, thanks for watching part 5 of this series, and we'll be on to part 6 soon. Bye-bye.